All right, it is hot. I'm letting that saw cool down because it's not mine. And I don't want to be that guy that borrows a saw or any tool and returns it broken. So I know there's a lot of knife housekeeping questions you guys have been asking, and I'm way behind the curve with catching you up on those. Let me at least make attempt to start somewhere. And a lot of people have asked how I sharpen my knife. So yes, distractions. There's going to be a rooster. Hopefully I don't have to chase it off. Just ignore it, okay? Yes, I do have a belt grinder and I've got a wheel and all that good stuff. I only use those for my own personal knife, like maybe 9 times out of 10. Other than that, I usually reach for one of these things. I do have better ones. This is about the cheapest one I own. I think it came from the dollar store. It probably cost $1 or $2. At the time that I bought it, it's super chipped and beat up now. But just to show you guys, like, this process works with this, I'm going to use it. So there's other ways of doing this. I like this way, okay? I can carry a smaller one of these with me and sharpen a knife pretty much anywhere, as long as the steel is actually sharpenable on one of these. That's another thing to go into on why I use the steel I do. So, but lost my train of thought. Hold on, I'll get it back. All right, so this sound right here, I don't, like, you do this in the morning while you're drinking your coffee, there's something soothing about it. It's just relaxing, okay? So give it a shot if you haven't done it at least. All right, what I'm gonna do is just line up this smaller bevel where the edge, the edge actually is, and act like I'm shaving off a piece of this steel. So just right at the base of this blade, and just kind of hold it there. They do make these stones with guides if you guys aren't comfortable freehanding it, but after a while, you get a feel for it. So you're gonna do that and just shave off pieces of that steel. And you're gonna do that, I don't know, it usually maybe takes me a minute, maybe less than that. You won't be able to see it on this camera. It's hard to see even in real life. But you're gonna do that until a burr builds up on the end of this blade. So the best way to check for that is just take your thumbnail or your fingernail, since I'm on camera, slide it towards the end, and you should feel it catch. You can't see it, but you can actually hear it click. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but that's the burr that you're starting to build up. And I can start at the tip, slide it this way, it catches, it catches, it catches, and right about here it stops catching. So I know I don't have it all the way built up yet. So I'm gonna go back just to shaving off pieces, or pretending like I'm shaving off pieces of the top of the steel, until that burr continues all the way down this. All right, let me just pause this, get the burr all the way down, and I'll be right back. All right, so now I've got the burr, it goes all the way down. That took like less than a minute to get it there. It's pretty easy. So what I'm gonna do now is flip it over on the other side and just start shaving the other way. Bringing it back towards me. No, don't cut yourself. And yes, you could set this flat on a table just for more stability. I'm pretty used to doing this, so I just kind of hold it in my hand. And no, I don't spit on this or do any of the stuff I see in Hollywood. More than likely, there could be some kind of reason for that. Feel free to comment if you guys want to. There is kind of something on some of these stones to working up a slurry, and that can help, but I've just done it like this for years now. All right, so I don't have a burr down here. It's starting to build up there. I'm almost there. So I've got the burr all the way down it now, and I've went ahead and I repeated that process. I just flipped it, and not the stone yet. I just flipped the knife and started going this way again, and then brought it back this way, until, again, each time I do that, I want to make sure that I've got that burr established going all the way down the blade. I don't want to leave any spots where it's still hanging to one side going the opposite way. Once I get that, I flip this stone over. These almost always have a coarse side and a fine side. You want to start with your coarse side and then finish with your fine side. And you're just going to repeat the process again. You're just shaving off this side until you establish that burr all the way up, and then flipping over, and we're going to go the other way. So I'm going to do that a couple times, and then I'm going to show you guys how to take that burr off. Okay, I went ahead and I worked this back and forth on the fine side. I've got that burr, I'm on the rough side. I've got that burr to flip back and forth at least a few times now, until really just until I felt comfortable with it and thought it was a good number. So I have heard some people say they just prefer to leave the burr in the center and like try to get that burr to where it's lined up, which makes sense, and I think I see where they're coming from. But after a few passes with a knife, that burr is still going to fold over, and then you're going to be left with the dull edge. So what you really want to do is tear that burr off, and you've got a good clean sharp edge that's going to last. So chill out guys, don't freak out. I am taking off my belt. It's just my belt. You guys know what this is.
You use foul language and son of a lady.
No, Daddy, no!
What this is. Some of you were hit way too much with one of these, and some of you were not hit nearly enough. I'm sorry, that's supposed to be a joke. I'm sure it's not to somebody. It's supposed to be a joke. Just forgive me, all right? The humor's off. Whatever. All right. I'm going to stretch this over the stone just for some type of flat edge, because what I don't want to do is step on it like you see in an old Western or a barber. They've got a different type of edge. At least a different type of edge is what I put on my knives, where they pull it back and forth while standing on it, because I'm going to curve that. I want to keep that flat. I'm going to place that back on there, lining up that bevel again, but instead now I'm going to pull the opposite way. So I'm going to work that back and forth a few times, and you will notice a little bit of discoloration here. That's because every now and then I'll take some buffing compound and I'll rub it into my belt. Yeah, it does distort the color a little bit, but I don't care, and it really helps with pulling that burr off of there. Then I'll flip it over. I'll do the other side, a few passes, and then just kind of work it back and forth. That's all I'm doing there. And after a few minutes of that, I should have a good, clean edge. I could go through with like some type of cloth to kind of remove any little bit of debris that's on there afterwards, but you know, I don't go into too much detail and get too fancy with this. So now I am chill out, guys. I'm just shaving. I'm not doing anything dangerous. Oh yeah, we're popping hairs again. So wouldn't be the most comfortable shave ever, but you could if you wanted to. But now I'm back in business, and I don't know how long this video took. Hopefully it's under 10 minutes.